Hey, I'm Josh Gadbois. Thanks for tuning in with us today. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 5 things you should be doing to prepare for your basement remodel, and some things you should be asking your contractor ahead of time to make sure your project starts real successful and it goes really smooth. So stick around, tune in, and we're going to go over our top 5 things. All right, step 1, paperwork. As boring as it sounds, make sure you have a clear scope of work with your contractor. Avoid kind of terminology like, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. Oh, I guess we'll figure that out when we get there. Make sure most of it is really figured it out on the front end, because then when the project starts, the team isn't just kind of waiting on answers and then the whole thing's held up and you're frustrated. So make sure your scope of work is clear with your contractor and you know exactly what you're getting. Okay, step 2. This is a big one. Empty your room. Get an off-site storage unit or maybe get an on-site storage unit. Make sure the room's empty for your contractor. So it's super important that you get the room cleared out, and talk to your contractor because they might even be able to get you a dumpster ahead of time for an extra cost, but it might be worth it to have it there on site so you can clear out your basement and be ready for the remodel. So step 3, a big one. Have all your things ordered ahead of time for your project. Framing, what we call lead items, things that could affect the project schedule, finishes, those kinds of things. Make sure most of that's kind of picked out and ready and ordered. Most of it's ordered, and especially for the rough phase of the project, that there's nothing that's going to hold it up. And make sure you ask your contractor those questions. So, step 4, this is a really big one. Have a pre-construction walkthrough with your contractor and his or her team. Make sure that they talk to you about the scope of work, the project path, and any questions. Get together with them, ask them those questions on the site walkthrough, and make sure that just everybody's on the same page. You know who's going to be working in your home, and try to do this about 2 weeks ahead of the project starting so that everybody's on the same page and it starts really smooth. And step 5, get acquainted with the schedule. A good contractor will have the schedule laid out, and just ask them. Not all contractors will just freely give that information, so just try to ask it and say, hey, what's the schedule look like for this project? Just be in the know for your basement and know what you're going to be expecting, so that you're not frustrated like 6 weeks in going, really nothing's happening. But if your contractor had told you, hey, this is the inspection phase, it's really slow, you would know and say, okay, there's stuff going on in the background, but really no one's here. It's just something I have to contend with. So those are our top 5 things. I'm Josh Gadbois. Thanks for tuning in with us. If you have any other questions, you can message me directly at josh@RenoVistaConstruction.com, or you can check out our website at RenoVista Construction if you're curious about remodeling your basement. But happy to just be a service and a help and a resource and answer any basement remodeling questions.